Well, guys, man, we got to talk about the highly anticipated return of the Bayou Barbie, Angel Reese, the Chi-Town Barbie, to Unrivaled. Man, and she did not disappoint. Angel Reese was on point. She was pure dominant, and she made a statement. You are now tuned into a brand new episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K Sapp. Well, guys, man, we got to talk about it. Angel Reese is sending shockwaves through the internet and social media, but we're going to talk about it right after this. Well, guys, man, the excitement is back in Unrivaled, and it's all because Angel Reese made her highly anticipated return to Unrivaled last night for the Rose BC, and she did not disappoint. Angel Reese was on point, even though Angel Reese came off the bench. Angel Reese shines in Unrivaled 2026 debut, appeared first on Clutch Sports and Clutch Sports as a preferred source by clicking here. On Friday, Angel Reese made her Unrivaled season debut, scoring 13 points and grabbing 8 rebounds for Rose BC in an 80-78 loss to the Hive BC at the Sophia Arena in Miami. Reese shot efficiently, going 6-9 from the field and 1-2 from the free throw line, contributing in just 10 minutes of action. Man, look, the 23-year-old was not originally expected to play this season, but filled a vacancy on the Rose BC roster after Zora Stevens was traded to the Hive BC in a rare three-way league trade. The deal also involved Vinyl BC guard Courtney Williams moving to Breeze BC, and the Hive BC guard Sanaya Rivers headed to the Vinyl BC. Reese's return, announced by Unrivaled on February 11th, was made possible by opening and creating after Ari McDonald's season-ending right leg injury. So Angel Reese was on full display last night, and she captivated the audience in a 10-minute span where she showed brilliance. She showed great moves, great athleticism, and it seemed like she didn't even miss a beat. She came out there being the same old Angel Reese that we've seen in the past, talking that talk and walking that walk. Azarae Stevens was on that Rose BC team last year. She got traded, and her and Angel Reese was going back and forth, and Angel Reese was putting her work in on display against Azarae Stevens, and it was a great game to watch. The excitement was back. The commentating was off the chain. They was very excited. And we saw Candace Parker at halftime was saying some things about me bounds. And Tiffany Montgomery on the broadcast said, no, me bounds is when you get your own rebound. Angel Reese was getting other people's rebounds. And Renee Montgomery, had to make it be known that they are not me bounds. And then Candace Parker tried to clean it up and saying anything that goes up is me bounds. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad Renee Montgomery checked her on that aspect. But as far as that game, we saw some controversy in the last minute of the game, which actually got the Hive to win that game 80-78 on some controversial calls. But let's take a look at one of the moves that Angel Reese put on Azarae Stevens on a fast break. Now you see me, now you don't. So let's take a look at the move that she put on full display. Angel Reese D's up Azurá Stevens, gets the rebound. She comes down court, pushing the rock. Look at the move. It almost like she was working with Akeem Olajuwon on the off season. Let's take a look at that again. D'd Azurá Stevens up, grabs the rebound, goes all the way down court, coast to coast, puts it in. Great move by Angel Reese. Now let's take a look at the play that ended the game controversially. This is a great steal by Angel Reese. Picked Sonia Citron's pocket for a potential game-winning layup, and they called a foul. And that was almost like the foul that they called on Kahleah Copper earlier, that fouled Kahleah Copper out, that gave the Hive a chance to possess the ball to win the game. And then Angel Reese gets the steal and they call a foul. And they didn't even go to replay to look at it, but they went to the replay to look at the Kahleah Copper foul. They called an offensive foul on Kahleah Copper. Two bad calls down the stretch. And a lot of people always say about, the refereeing in Unrivaled. But Angel Reese was on full display. Her defense was on point. Her hands is still quick. You play with the ball in front of Angel Reese at the top of the key, she gonna get you. And she got Sonia Citron. She picked her clean. It was a clean pick to me, in my opinion. They replayed it on different angles, and it showed that Angel Reese picked her pocket clean and could have went down and won the game for Rose BC. But the officials put their hand in it, and it caused a foul. Now you get the Hive to get Kelsey Mitchell on the island to score the game winner. But all in all, this is about Angel Reese. The return was exciting. Everybody was tuned in watching this game. And I'm looking at the reports. This was one of the most watched games of Unrivaled this season, all because of the impact and the influence that Angel Reese has on women's basketball, WNBA, and Unrivaled. Everybody was tuned in to watch Angel Reese play. And it's exciting to have Angel Reese back because now people are glued in onto their televisions watching Angel Reese to see what she's capable of doing, seeing what she's doing. And there's other people that's tuned in to see any mistakes that Angel Reese makes so they can run straight to their social media and straight to the YouTube content creator space in this sports realm and make videos about Angel Reese to get their traction back going. But Angel Reese did not disappoint. Pure dominant. This is the impact that Angel Reese has on women's basketball, because when Angel Reese announced that she was coming back on February 11th, everybody was tuned in waiting to February the 20th to see Angel Reese in action. And Angel Reese dominated in 10 minutes. Came off the bench like I knew she would, because you got to get your legs up under you. You don't know what, the off season held, but she been in there working. She been in the lab, because she put some moves on full display on Azurá Stevens. Like, nah, I'm still her. This is still my arena down here in the low post. Get in the weight room. She put that brute strength on Azurá Stevens a couple times and moved her out of there. Got a couple and ones on Azurá Stevens, but the move on coast to coast, where now you see me, now you don't. She just captivated the audience. And man, look, she is going viral for the moves that she put on Azurá Stevens last night, and she's going viral for her return and the impact that she displayed coming back to Unrivaled. So that lets you know that Angel Reese's box office, she's must-see TV. Everybody was tuned in to watch Angel Reese to see what she was going to bring to the table, and nobody was disappointed. Even though the Rose took the defeat 80-78, but it was a great game, had 19 lead changes, and Angel Reese impacted the game only by playing 10 minutes. Everybody was tuned in. Everybody talked about it. This was one of the games that was highly anticipated. Everybody marked this on their calendar to be tuned in to watch this game on national television, and for Angel Reese to have that impact and the total dominance that she displayed on her way back in her return, because like she stated, she wasn't going to play, but that three-way trade and the injury to Ari McDonald made it possible for Angel Reese to come back to the Rose for this playoff push to see what they could do in the playoffs. But Angel Reese did not disappoint. Everybody was glued in watching the Bayou Barbie and the Chi-Town Barbie on full display. I see everybody in the comments section, #salute. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. Oh yeah, just in case I forgot. Tell a friend and tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. Guess what, y'all? We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.